I always start off, I kind of have like this pre-fight ritual that I actually do. It's called NLP, like neuro-linguistic programming. Kind of like to bring my body and my mind back to the point in time where I was at my absolute best.
All the spinning stuff, all the side kicks, all the flashy stuff, that makes people wrestlers real quick.
Then I turn around and I face my opponent. I'm like, okay, it's actually about to get real. It's kind of like going up on that roller coaster, and it's like tick, tick, tick. You're going up to the top, and it's like, okay, this is actually about to happen. I always like to touch my opponent's hand, just because even though we're going to go out there and fight, it's a respect thing. So I like to acknowledge that they want to touch hands first, because sometimes people come out and try and throw a sneak punch or a sneak attack on you. As I'm fighting him right now, I'll start off with my legs a little bit to just see if he could recognize like the distance of my legs and my speed. So I'm using my fakes and stuff in order to break his rhythm, because that's one of the ways I get an advantage when I'm fighting. Usually the better fighter is not necessarily the person that punches or like kicks the best, it's whoever controls their space the best. I would like to hit him with my spin kick, but he's doing a good job of either trying to maintain his space and trying to back up. So just kind of trying to fill him out a little bit as we're fighting. Then I threw my spin side to my cross, which is actually a pretty complicated technique. I think it just came out that way, honestly, because that's not something I would have planned right there. It just kind of flowed out naturally.
That happened so fast, I blinked and it was 2 kicks went by.
He was trying to clinch up with me a little bit. I got a chance to work on a lot of my grappling and my cage work and stuff like that, so he didn't have a chance to take me down or anything. I didn't get really a chance to show any of that. I happened to hit him with my spin kick to his body, actually connected to his liver, which, if you notice, like, he ended up flying backwards and kind of almost like skipping across the floor, because that shot lands with so much power and so much energy. So I politely asked him to get up off the ground. And he proceeded to get up. So I thought to myself, this is a good opportunity to try and throw one of my big moves, you know, high risk, high reward. But the only reason I did throw that at that particular moment is because I knew that I did hurt him. But I ended up throwing my Chi 720. It's one of those techniques that, like, it's like the merry-go-round. So if you put the quarter in, you gotta stay on for the whole ride. There's no jumping off. So as I started to spin, I saw him disengage and move away from me. So as I did the first rotation and I started going into the second rotation, I realized that he's moving away and I'm not gonna actually be able to kick. So instead of throwing the kick, I landed and I closed the distance with my right hand. My coaches and everybody asked me, how did it feel? I'm like, it actually didn't feel like anything. It just, like a hot knife through butter, it just slid right through and bam. The next thing I know, he was falling down, and the crowd went crazy, and the rest of the world did as well.
That's why they call him the human highlight reel right there. That's the reason why.